talking about rest. We are going to be defining what rest is, why it's important, and why we have some resistance to rest. So, if this is your first time seeing me, my name is Audrey, and I talk about all things wellness on my channel. And rest is something that is very important when we are speaking about wellness. Okay, so I'm just putting in a poll here. Do you think you are worthy of rest? This is a tricky one because, yeah, most people find it difficult. Good morning, Joanna. I'm here for 15 minutes. I have a meeting to prep for. Okay. Good morning, Alice. How are you doing today? How are you doing, Joanna? And how are you doing, Alice? Today, we are going to be talking about rest. So let me dive right into it. And yeah, let's get into the discussion. So I'm going to start with what rest is, because from the research that I have been doing, I've realized that I actually didn't know what rest meant to me. I'm good. I hope you're okay too. I am. I'm enjoying the fact that today is today a Friday? Imagine I say today is a Friday when it's a Thursday. But yeah, today is a Friday. So the weekend is coming. Me today, I'm well and even feel like I rested enough yesterday. That is awesome, Joanna. I am happy to hear that. So let's talk about what is rest first before we dive into everything else. So there is a difference between sleep and rest. And I realized whilst I was, doing the research that I associated sleep with rest, but you can rest when you're not sleeping. So, whereas sleep gives your body a break, rest involves the whole being, not just the body. It allows you to take a break when you're awake and to let your mind shut off. These breaks are important for your well-being and may also improve your productivity at work or at school. So, yes, sleep is part of rest, but as you are awake, when you intentionally take a break from everything, you are resting. And rest means different things for different people. For example, I may be working out, but because my mind is shut off from everything else when I'm working out, that's actually my therapeutic time, my calm time. And for other people, that may be stressful because they are straining their body. But I have gotten used to working out so much, and whatever I'm listening to at that particular moment is music that soothes me or that calms me or that gives me a pump, but it's something I don't have to be concentrating on. So my mind is resting from what I have to do for the day, what I didn't do yesterday, all the plans that I have for the future. My mind actually rests when I'm working out. So it's different for different people. Okay, so hence I say when we can take a break and let the word pause for a moment. Yes, Joanna. And it's very important because there was a live I did, and we were talking about how families tell us we are lazy when we just need rest. And I remember Lungi said that her grandfather, I think they were farming cabbages, and she was supposed to help with the harvest and everything, but it was so tiring as a child. But when she didn't do it, people called her lazy. So yeah, I think in the society as well, not just the African society, but more so the world in general, we are taught to push, push, push. And when we can't achieve something, we are seen as failures or we are seen as lazy. So there is a mindset that gives us resistance to rest, and we will get into that soon. So true. I love that about training. Yeah, my mom will be like, you are lazy, shame. And that time your mind can't take it. Yes. And as you grow older, those words keep on playing in your mind, in your subconscious. So there is a guilt that comes with rest for most people. When they were growing up, they were taught that a girl should do this, or a woman should do this, or a man should do this, or a man shouldn't do this. Those words keep on playing in your mind. And so when you take time off, you feel guilty about resting. I know it is not the same for most people, because they have come to the realization that rest is important, but it's something that I fight with month in, month out, because I want to be productive, I want to get results. And sometimes when I'm lying down and doing nothing, I'm always thinking there's something better that I could be doing with my time. So it's a gift, it's a guilt that I have to constantly be fighting all the time. So when we have rest, there is a shift from the external to the internal. And what we want in the eternal is calmness. So we are shutting down from all the thoughts, all the creativity, all the productivity, and we're focusing on erasing the issues or the feelings of stress. Okay. Okay, so let's get into how we can rest, and then we will dive deeper into why we can't rest, or why most people can't rest. The famous one is, this girl should not wake up after 8 a.m. Joanna, you guys had it good. 8. In my household, it was 5:30, because the sun would come out at 6, like in summer. In winter, maybe, but the sun should not come out before you wake up. So in my household, it was early, early. We should be up by 6, and all chores to be done by 9 a.m. Exactly. Haha. And that time you need to listen to your body before you can even take the first step. And maybe the previous night you had slept late because there was something else that needed to be done. Great morning, precious. How are you doing today? We are speaking about what rest is, and why it is important, and why we sometimes have resistance to rest. So, Joanna, with me, especially when it came to rest, I have a very tacky relationship with it, because I grew up with 3 sisters, and I also grew up with my grandmother. My primary school was closer to where my grandmother stayed. So during the week, I would be with my grandmother for most of the time. Hi, Dineo. Good morning. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. I'm fabulous. Hi, Joanna. Great topic. Thank you, Precious. I used to feel that way as well. My mind would be telling me that I need to do something. Yes, Alice. It's the guilt of rest. Hi, hello, Neo. Neo, okay. That almost slipped past me. Mangwanani Lungi, how are you doing this morning? We are talking about rest. So, I had 2 influences of very strong women in my life, and I'm using strong from the way we discussed it the other day, the strong women. And they instilled that idea of being a strong woman who is always on the go with me. So in my household with my mom and my sisters, we were not allowed, like I said, to wake up after the sun came out. And then especially on the weekends, we would do a thorough clean, like take out the curtains, wash the couches. Everyone had a designated room. So if I had Yes, exactly, Danelle. Resilient. So if I had the bathroom, for example, that meant that I have to do inside the bowl, I have to wipe everything in the toilet, I have to wash the doors, I have to wash the sink. So whatever room you had to do it top down, and the window sills from the inside and the outside, then the windows as well. So it was a big chore and a big task there at home. Every Saturday we knew that we would do that. Hi, Just Live, an actress for an edit. Halle Berry. Yeah, Halle Berry. Hi, Zena. How are you doing? Today we are talking about rest. So that was one side of my childhood. Then the other side was with my grandmother. My grandmother was opposed to a person who is just sitting. You cannot, number one, just sit. So because I was in primary school, if you're sitting, you have to have a book in your hand, right? You have to be doing something. And around the house, because I was young, maybe she would allow me to like dust. So if she sees you sitting, she'll be like, under the table, you need to dust the legs under the table. Then, if you want to take a nap, yeah, the naps were a big issue with my grandmother. And she would always say, especially if you take a nap, let's say around 4ish, because that's the time you're tired, she would come and wake you just before the sun sets, like maybe 4:30. So she wouldn't allow you to take a nap for more than 30 minutes. In fact, she would just say you should only sleep once in a day. And when you say the reverse to her, like she should rest, because my grandmother worked, guys. So she worked as I mean, she was a working grandmother. I don't know if that's a term, but she worked an 8 to 5, because in Zimbabwe it's an 8 to 5. She worked an 8 to 5. Then when she got home, she would then cook, then clean. And she was a baker, she was a teller, she was good at flower arrangements. So she was the one who was responsible for flower arrangements once a month in at our church. And when people were getting married at church, she was the one who would bake the wedding cakes. And if you know, like, wedding cakes are a lot of work. She also did birthday cakes. So if someone had an order for a birthday cake, she would do that. She was also a tailor. So if someone needed a dress or someone needed something to be adjusted, she would do that. All of these things are being done in one day by one person. Even after her retirement, she had the time that my grandmother retired, they had a good pension package, so she didn't need to work. But every day, every morning, she would wake up, go and sweep outside the gate first, then she would come in and sweep inside the gate, then she would clean the house. What she would allow me to do, I would help her with, and then she'll start on the baking, start on the sewing. So she wanted me to be exactly like that. And when I would say, oh, I want to take a break, or I want to sit down, or I want to lie down, she would make sure that she would come and disturb you. And my grandmother would just come in the room and start fiddling with the curtains, or start she would throw something on the ground by mistake just so you can wake up. So there was no rest in the house. We didn't know what rest was. Zena is greeting everyone. Dineo greeting Zena there. I'm good, sis. That is good to hear, Zaina. Although it was so hard with Granny's hay. Yeah, because it's something that was instilled in them for generations. Arrow. What are you doing? Just sitting. The grass is high. Did you have to slash the grass, Precious? Sure, Granny was tough here. No sleeping girl. Never. You can't do that. You only sleep at night. It was abuse, though, not being able to rest, especially us girls. but boys could. Yes, Lungi. But that was I don't know. I think that in my household there was equality in terms of rest, well, lack thereof, because even my grandfather, he worked his 8 to 5, but my grandfather was very handy, and he loved his garden. So when he came back, he would change into his garden clothes. He would go in the garden. If there's weeding to be done, he'll do it, watering, whatever it is, but he'll spend time in the garden, come in, shower, and then supper would be ready. Over the weekend, if there were any light bulbs that needed to be changed, if there was any plumbing to be done, yeah, my granddad was really handy. So even on the weekend, they would work the same amount of time that they would work during the week. And then on Sunday, it was you wake up, go to church, then after church, my grandfather would be in the garden again. Then my grandmother is obviously sorting out the laundry. And the same thing with my household. On Sundays and Saturdays, like I said, Saturdays was thorough cleaning. Sundays after church, that was the only difference. We had everyone in the family had a nap on Sunday after brunch. So after church we would have brunch, then we take a nap. But then after that, you're now sorting out things for the new week, the uniforms, the clothes, the working clothes for the week. And then, yeah, my dad was always in the garden, always repairing things, always working. So, yeah, on both sides, the male and the female counterparts, always working. Hi ladies, I'm in the background playing you on Silent Ray. I'm in the office. I'm at the office today. Okay, Mushle, thank you so much for joining the live. Granny was training you at an early age, but you're no sleeping. That was too much. You were young. A rest there, here and there is needed. That's true, Zena, and that's exactly what she was training me for, the future. And even up to now, there are times when I want to rest, but I remember those voices in my head and I feel guilty for resting. And that's what I want to talk about now, because I think that mindset needs to change, because as human beings, we deserve rest and we need rest. My grannies are just too sweet. We all worked in the mornings and played and rested. Oh, Dineo, that's lovely. You had a good one. Ewe Lungi, it was abuse. Honestly, proper abuse, because as children we exert so much energy and then we need to sleep. That's why, like, at my nursery school we had siesta time. We would learn, we would go out and play, and then we had a siesta because we need sleep. But the line they had was, a girl child can't sleep until the sun burns your bums. Behind, guys, really? I didn't know that one. We had, the sun should not set while you're asleep. So that means you can't sleep in the afternoon. And the sun can't rise whilst you're asleep. So that was the one we had. Thanks. Oh, okay. Zena said, my grandmother was sweet too, Dineo. She never wanted us to do anything. We were spoiled brats, I tell you. She was, don't overwork my kids, so you guys were lucky. You guys were so lucky. That's nice, that really nice. By the way, I won't go live today. Okay, Mutle, thank you for notifying me. I hope you have a great day at the office. It was Dineo until she passed. Then we had to go back to our actual homes where the routine changed. Hey, that was a snap back to reality. Mama would wake us up early and say, Vukani, it's not your granny's house here. Clean or wash the dishes. Ah, guys. Okay, we'll try and go live there today if I'm busy. Okay, Zena. Yesterday they had that line, you need to be up early. Zena, that must have been hard. Yeah, like a huge shift in reality. Okay, So, Jenny Jurian. Hi, how are you? Good morning. Would you like to say good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're joining me from? And if you subscribe to the channel and like the live, I will do what you have requested me to do. Very hard to know. You had to adjust to the new way of living very quickly too. Very quickly. Okay. So here are some tips for mental rest. We need to practice acceptance. You can't control everything or do everything all at once. Chances are you're simply not going to finish everything you're supposed to do, or you can't control how things are moving. And obviously, because we're all YouTubers here, the example I'm going to put is with YouTube. No matter how much time and effort you put, right, you don't hold all the cards. There's only so much you can do. So when you prioritize rest, you give yourself the optimum level of production. So if I didn't rest well yesterday, I was not going to be able to start this live this early in the morning after doing every single thing that I had to do in the morning before the live. So it is very important for us to have rest in order to be productive in the next day. Just like what Joanna said, she had enough rest, so she's ready and geared for the day. Yes, there's only so much we can do. Yes, so we need to relinquish that idea of being controlling of the situation, of because there are some things that are beyond our control. And when we constantly think about it and constantly ruminate about it, actually it pushes us to being overwhelmed. And when you're overwhelmed, you're actually not going to be able to do just one task. So rest is important for that. The second thing is to actually be intentional about rest. Hi, Casey. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. And how is everything? Today we are talking about rest. What rest is, how to rest, and why it is important. Also, we're going to discuss why we have some resistance to rest. Please do Zena, I'll play it in silent like this one. Okay, Mutle. It was not easy, I tell you. Me and my siblings, we saw that as abuse because Granny had spoiled us, but later on we got it. Yes. I always say that rest is a spirit warfare, Dre. Lungi, I'm coming back to that. I'm actually coming back to that. So Zaina, I believe that our parents and grandparents had such great intentions with teaching us to do certain things, especially around the house, because when you get older, you have to know how to do certain things for yourself, for your environment, because having a clean environment for me, it adds to my productivity. Being able to cook for myself means, especially on the journey that I am, where I want overall health, I know exactly what I put in my food. So it's something that was instilled in me from a very young age. But I think that there were extremes to doing it where you are taught that girl children shouldn't oversleep or something like that, because there are days where you are actually feeling tired, and then you're seeing the sun come up and you force yourself to come up because you feel like you are obligated or you have to report for duty. And that's what we are speaking against today. I know that I have benefited so much from that abuse that I went through, because there are mornings that I wake up and I start cleaning my sofas, and then I'll text my mom and I'll say, are you seeing what you have done to me? Why am I waking up and cleaning sofas at 5 a.m.? But after that, I feel so refreshed because my house is clean. But yeah, there were extremes to it. I always say that rest is a spirit warfare drain. Lungi, so this was something else that I wanted to speak about, because when we are tired, right, we cannot be productive, not only physically, but also mentally and also spiritually. And that is why it is important to rest. So, the verse that I wanted to speak about, let me just get into that now. Okay, so it is Mark 6, verse 30 to 31. Da-da-da. My Bible is slow, but we are there. Mark 6, verse 30 to 31. Okay, so this was after Jesus fed the 5,000, and he had sent out his disciples to do some work, which was healing the sick and preaching. And when they came back, they reported to him. So let me just read it from verse 30 to verse 31. It says, the apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. So they have done the work that they were sent to do. Then, because so many people were coming and going, they did not have a chance to eat. And he said to them, come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. You have achieved what you were supposed to achieve for the day, what you were supposed to achieve for the week. Even if you haven't, you have to rest in order for you to work again tomorrow. So if you are showing up for yourself physically at work or maybe on YouTube, if you're showing up for yourself working out, you need rest and recovery. If you're showing up for yourself mentally, you're going through something at that particular moment. If you're showing up for yourself spiritually, you have to refuel. You have to go to a quiet place and rest. You've done your work, so you have to rest. So, yeah, Lungi, that was something that I was going to touch on. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I really love your presentation, Straight. Thank you, Precious. Yes, be intentional about it. Yes, yes. So, this ties in. You see, this is why I love these presentations, these live discussions, because it always ties in together. How are you going to be intentional about rest? And if we look at the instruction that Jesus gave to his apostles, he said, go to a quiet place. Now, in this life that we're living, everything is noise. Every single thing around us is noise. If we are not listening to music, if we're not watching TV, we're on social media, or we're at work, or we're at the gym, or yeah, everything around us is noise. But you can find a quiet place, whether you're going to sit outside, watch the sunrise or watch the sunset, go and sit on the grass with nothing, not a book, not your phone, just that, being in that quiet, still place, just to rest your mind and recover. It's very important because, like I said, we're surrounded by so much noise. That's why they say that in your first 30 minutes of waking up, try not to pick up your phone or to go on social media, because there is a lot of noise that comes from there that might disturb your calmness and your peace. So the instruction there is to look for a quiet place and rest. Remove yourself from the noise. and rest. So we have to be intentional about it. That means maybe you can tell yourself that, okay, during the week, I'm always on the go. On Sunday morning, before I'm preparing for church, I am going to make myself a cup of tea and sit in silence for 30 minutes. I'm just going to give myself 30 minutes. If it means you are going to walk outdoors without your music, without your phone even, just walk down your street for 15 minutes. You're in the quiet. You are not thinking about anything. It's very important, and to be intentional about it. Casey Bantla, I want to publicly apologize. I've been saying Casey Matemela, not Matela. I'm sorry, I feel terrible, especially because I take offense to being called Mutle. Mutle sounds very, very interesting. It sounds like Mutle. Okay, let me not get into it. But Casey, there's your apology there. He needs suffers at 5 a.m. Dineo, and then I question myself, who is this person? I prioritize rest, but yeah, it has been instilled in me. Yes, my mother would wake us up by 5 a.m. and a girl child has to be up before sunrise. Yes, that was extreme. We were just kids then. Yes, we were just kids. And I think there's a reason why the Bible points out that God rested, although it wasn't a tired rest, more a rest from creation. Yes, and that is why we need to also honor the Sabbath. There's a reason why there is priority of rest within the Bible. Throughout the Bible, you will find it. And it is because we need to regenerate ourselves, recover, and find the strength. Because like you said, warfare, right? This is a weapon of warfare. Rest is a weapon of warfare. Because how do you get into a battle when you are tired? How do you fight when you are tired? So it is very important. Yes, Lungi, come with me to a quiet place and rest. Yes, Dineo. That also could mean resting in his presence, because everything you need is in his presence. Yes, because he asked them to come with him. That is true. The nourishment and sustenance. Yes, Dineo. That is what we need. We need rest to rejuvenate and recover. Okay, let me catch up with the comments before I move on to the next thing. So which one do you think is more powerful? Believing in God does exist, or knowing God does exist? Believing that God does exist, or knowing that God does exist? I think one comes before the other. Because when you start your journey, you don't know that God exists. You believe. So one is a precursor of the other. So both are very important, because you believe before you know. That's what I think. Willie, and good morning. How are you doing today? A quiet place isn't a physical quiet place. You can be in a quiet place in the midst of business. Yes, that's true, Dineo. That is busyness. Okay, yes, that is true. Some people have the willpower to do that, and some people don't. Yes, it is. It is for physical rest, because they had gone out and they were, like I said, healing the sick, casting out demons, teaching. So they needed the rest because they were working all day and they didn't even have time to eat. So remember when we were talking about situations that you need to stop, and sometimes when you need to quit, and we said when you can't prioritize eating. So when you see that there are some things lacking in your basic needs, are lacking in what you're doing, you need to take yourself out of the situation and rest. Come to me. Oh, yes. Thank you, Lungi. That is another one. Come to me, all of you who are tired and have heavy loads. I will give you rest. Yes. Accept my work and learn from me. I am gentle and humble in spirit, and you will find rest for your souls. The work that I ask you is to accept is easy. The load that I give you to carry is not heavy. Matthew 11, verse 28 to 31. Thank you, Lungi. Thank you so much. So we do see that throughout the Bible, rest is something that is prioritized. And everything that we see prioritized in the word is for our own good. And again, the come to me is significant there because that is where we find our rest. Because it's hard, and Dineo pointed it out, even in the business, because we are living in a busy life. Everything is go, go, go. So where can we find our rest? Where does our rest come from? It comes in that place. But spiritual rest is important too. Yes, Lungi. Yes, Mushle, I heard you. Mushle, you are forgiven. Lapo, I'm not a morning person. I will be grumpy all day till to this day. Alice, and you have to wake up before sunrise. Guys, we did go through a lot. With me, I was never a morning person until I started my fitness journey, and then my body changed. Not even my mind, my body changed. So because I preferred to work out in the morning before going to work, I would wake up at 6 every morning. And then now, even when I don't have an alarm, I wake up at like 10 to 6 and I just start my day. So it shifted, but yeah, for other people, it doesn't shift at all. Yes, Lungi. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing? Thank you for joining the live. So today we are talking about rest and why it's important. What is rest? Why is it important? And why do we sometimes feel resistance to rest? Good morning, too. I'm doing well. How are you doing yourself? So how do you usually give your testimonies? How do you usually give your testimonies? Okay. Okay. I'm doing well. Thank you, Willie. How do I usually give my testimonies? It comes out unless it's at church, unless when it was at church, then it would be a testimony day, or they would call out for testimonies. But I've found that I have a lot of testimonials that just come out through lives, unless I have planned to put a testimony of something out there. So I have a testimony of my journey from where I was before as a Christian and where I am now. And I think it's titled The Lazy Christian. I don't remember the exact title, but that is a testimonial of where I was before and where I am now. But I don't think I have shared a lot of testimonies. At some point, I am going to do a deep dive on that, but it's in the works. It's something that I'm working towards. Hi, Dini. How are you, Sissy? Thank you, Casey. I wish I listened to them because now my job demands I wake up in the wee hours of the morning. Yeah, Alice, that's what we were saying, that although it was extreme, they were just trying to train us for the life that was ahead. But some of the things they were extreme, Alice, especially for me, because I had to wake up early to go to school. Then on weekends, where you think you sleep in, Saturday is the time you're also waking up at 5 a.m. And then on Sunday, of course, because of church, you have to wake up early as well. So it was somewhat of training. But even now, on Sundays, even if I don't get out of bed, I will wake up very early. Alice Chomi, so do you think they should have woke you up as a child? Because I want to ask a question to everyone. Alice, please answer. Oh, yes. She said yes, Lungi. Okay. We're waiting for the question. As we wait, and well, thanks, and yourself. Alice, not Alice, Elizabeth. Dineo is asking how you are. Okay. Lungi is asking, must we let kids rest, especially during school holiday weekends? Because especially for kids who use taxis, they wake up super early, like at 4:30 a.m. Uh, that's an interesting one, because if I refer back to my childhood, I don't think even during the holidays I I slept in, because my mom would ask me to help her with getting ready for work. So for example, when I was younger, my duty was to clean the shoes, like her shoes and my dad's shoes. And then as I got older, when they were carrying packed lunch, I would help them pack their lunches. Um, Sometimes I would wash the cars before they left as well. So my mom would always say, okay, since you're on holiday, you will sleep later on. But then you would have a long list of things to do during the day as well, so the sleep wouldn't come. So I don't know how to answer that. I don't know, because yeah, I was never taught that. I still woke up early even during the holidays. Shu Lungi, yeah, that's true. Ewe Lungi, let's let them rest. Yeah, I agree with that. Personally, I wish they would have let me rest, or at least teach me that rest is important, especially if you finished your daily chores. That is that is important, Lungi. And even if you have not finished them, because now, like I said, we have a huge resistance to rest, like a huge resistance to rest. And it's because of us not knowing how to rest, or being taught that rest was not important, or was not good, not even important. Rest was not good. Yes, Lungi, let them rest. Yes, we need to teach the younger generation different a different mindset. Our parents and grandparents believe in suffering. Oh, I'm still unlearning things. That is true, Casey. There's something that my grandmother used to say that when I look back at it now, I know was a trauma response, because she went through the hardship of colonization. She lost her mother in a very brutal way, and she was displaced from her family was displaced from her home. So she grew up with this idea that she has to work hard for everything and she achieved a lot of things, my grandmother. She achieved a lot, especially at that time where there was no equal opportunity. She achieved a lot. But my grandmother always used to say this statement, and every time I think of it, it's deep and it's a huge cut. But she would always say that I will rest when I'm dead, because we would always try and encourage her. Gogo, you must rest. Gogo, you've been working all day. Gogo, you look tired. She would say, I will rest when I die. And you know what? She built a foundation for my mom and us to have the life that we have now. So I understand the burden that she carried on her shoulder, but she didn't understand that life had changed a little bit, and it was okay for her to rest. So even like I said, in her retirement, she didn't rest. She always used to say, I will rest when I die. Janelle said, because if we let them sleep during the weekend, how will they learn some of the chores? Janelle, maybe, yeah. It's a conundrum. It really is, because both things are important. Both things are important, and we have priorities all around. But I believe that we need to change that mindset. Yes, life is tough. Yes, we are supposed to be productive, but we need to also prioritize teaching them the importance of rest. I let my kids rest, but I'm scared. What if I'm spoiling them? Because that's what we were told growing up, and we were labeled as lazy. Yes, Lungi. Um, I think there's a balance that can be striked. For example, let me just say how I would do it. So, chores can be done over the weekend, but we can sleep in on Saturday because we're probably going to wake up early to go to church on Sunday. So let's have one day where we can sleep in, because even if we start our chores at 9 and finish at 12, our chores are done. No, the rule that chores should be done at 9 is maybe something we can change. So that would be a suggestion. I don't know, but that would be something that I would incorporate. Let's sleep in on Saturday, because all the other days are a bit hectic. I'm with you on that, to instill the importance of rest. Yes, Lungi, do they help you though around the house? Yes, I think so. They do dishes, their own rooms, and a few things. Yeah. So they are on the right path. Mina Lungi, as long as they rest because of the busy week, I'm okay with that. But if someone watches TV till late and wants to rest the next day, is a no. Yes, Alice. So when I was younger, this is so funny. When I was younger, I told you that we used to go to the video shop to rent out videos for the weekend. So I would watch my cartoon over and over again into the night. And then the next morning, I would be tired. And then they'll be waking us for chores. And my mom would be like, I heard you watching TV. You're still waking up. You can rest later. So that was just funny. So, why do you think God wanted us to know about rest? For me personally, I think that, like I said, we are living in a busy world physically, but we also have a warfare that we fight, a warfare that we do not see. Now, if you are supposed to be fighting that fight, let's say you're supposed to be fighting the fight at midnight, maybe that is your watch, midnight, and you have been up from 6 a.m. to midnight. By the time you start praying at midnight, you're tired. But if you prioritize maybe going to bed early at 10 or at 9, you have at least taken time to rest your body, rest your mind, and rejuvenate before you do that. So, because of the work that is there, right? I think that, like Lumi said, God took a rest from creation because there was work that had been done. But there is still work to be done after creation. So there is the need for importance of rest. And the the commandment of the Sabbath. Sorry, I'm okay. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Please excuse me one moment. Okay, so yes, I was saying that there was work before the rest, and there is work after the rest. And just, it's the same for us. You cannot be productive unless you have rested. So I think that is why there is so much importance and priority given to rest in the word. But I don't want it to be extreme, Dineo, especially with helping with the baby. I don't want them to be burdened by taking care of the baby. I want them to play with the baby if they feel like, because growing, we are forced to mother babies, and I disliked that. Haibo. Exactly, Alice. Lungi, I think that because I was the last born, I didn't experience that. But my older sisters really did, because we have a huge age difference, especially like the firstborn. And even up to now, she still plays that role of mothering, right? And I can understand why you have that perspective, because your other children are older than Lumumba, and they might feel the burden if you do not pay close attention to it. So yeah, that is a great one. I never experienced it personally, but I know my sisters did. And then why do you think after he created each day, night came, and then he would wait? Then he would continue creating on the following day, and yet he has the power to create everything all at once. Whoa. That is beyond my understanding, Willie. That one, I haven't even looked into that yet. So I don't have an answer to that now. But maybe after more years of growth, I can answer that. But yeah, I've never really thought about it that way. You, Lungi, you're on the right track. The older they will assist with more stuff. Yes, you're right, Lungi, because they will resent the little one. Yeah. Rest is important when it is needed, and that's what I do when I get a chance, because sometimes we overwork ourselves and forget that our bodies also need some rest and care as well. That is true, Elizabeth, especially when we are working on something, when we're working on a project, when we are looking for results with something, we really do forget that rest and recovery actually helps with the productivity. It helps with the project. But it's something that we have to put intentionally, because it's not natural for us, especially with our surroundings, with the society. It's not natural to rest, because everyone is always on the goal. They're always setting goals for the year, and they're always on the go trying to get to those goals. So even at work, you no person wants people to rest on their time, because they feel like they they own your time. But yes, it's important. We need care, definitely. Lungi, imagine your eldest son taking care of their siblings because no choice was given to them. It's unfair. Yes, Alice, it is. And as Janelle said, it might not be overt, but maybe covertly or unconsciously, it might breed a little bit of resentment. So yeah, and also they need a childhood as well. Like I'm saying with my older sisters, they're older than me, yes, but when I was, for example, 6, my elder sister was 16. She was still a kid. She didn't need to have all those responsibilities. But in African homes, most African homes, they will always say, you're the older one, you're responsible for the younger ones, but you're also a kid. So that is very important. You, Alice, even as your sibling, please don't burden me with your child. Let me help when I want to. I don't want to be forced. Lungi, I don't know. I don't know about that one, because We're supposed to be helping each other, but I understand exactly what you're saying because me and my nephews and nieces, well, from the older sisters, we kind of grew up at the same, we don't have that much of a difference. So they would give me the children to take care of them, right? Because maybe they're going to work and I'm at home or I'm helping out in whatever way. But the moment the child cries at a point where I can't tell them, oh, please be quiet. Oh, what do you need? Okay, let me change the diaper. Let me give them milk. If it's beyond that, I'll say, please take your child because I don't know what your child wants. So yeah, that was really funny for me, Lungi. Lungi, I feel like we are given a chance to rectify what we do not like in our upbringing. In my house, my sisters were told, "This is my house. You will do as I say." I once told my son that in the presence of my eldest sister. She told me how she hated it, and I wasn't aware it was a bad thing until she pointed it out. Wow. That is it. We have to unlearn a lot of things. We have to unlearn a lot of things. And that's true. How you reacted to that statement and how someone else reacted to that statement would be different. Because yes, I grew up with that. My house, my rules. As long as you're under my roof, you do what I say. I didn't realize it was something bad and it didn't affect me that much, but for someone else it might affect them. So yeah, we learn every day, Alice. Also, I also have scars from elders waking up early and they have energy. Manjaru must all do spring cleaning. Spring cleaning for us, Lungi, was every Saturday. So it was never seasonal, never seasonal. I can share an answer about that, but it's very broad and mind blowing. Please do, Willie. Let's hear what you have to say. Of okay, I read that one. Also, guys, people have different things they like. For example, my son likes washing cars. Braai and sometimes cooking. I let him do that, and my daughter likes helping me cook, and then I let her do that. So glad she made you away, Alice, and you can receive it. The problem with our parents, you couldn't even tell them anything at all. Yeah, at all. It's something that they need to unlearn as well. And I think with old age, my parents have learned to understand the children as much as they want the children to understand them. But before, yeah, you could not tell them anything. Janelle, why are you laughing? Yes, Alice, we're given a chance, yeah, to rectify things. Guys, okay, I thought I was really behind. The short version, he wanted us to acknowledge the power of manifestation before creating because we are all creators. So night symbolizes the moment of manifesting and day as a moment to create. Interesting, really. That is something that I am going to look into. Thank you very much. I let my 2-year-old do everything with me because they don't know the difference between chores and play. I also like to gravitate more to what they have to do and what they like, Lungi. Yo, Lingy, I'm glad she did because I wasn't even aware. Hi, animals. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. So that is something that I was going to touch on, Lungy, that different people see different things in different lights. So, for example, when I look at cooking and when I looked at cooking when I was younger, it was something that was really therapeutic for me because I like recreating things. So if I go out and eat something, I want to buy the ingredients and recreate it. But when I have to cook every day, it's a chore. So depending on what I'm feeling, cooking can be therapeutic to me or it can be a chore. So rest sometimes for me means recreating a recipe. And sometimes cooking means I have to do this again, and it's not giving me any fulfillment. So it is quite important. And what Casey said, when I was younger and I couldn't reach the sink, I would always say, oh, please, can I have a chair and do the dishes? And my grandmother wouldn't allow me because she would be afraid that I will fall. So what she allowed me to do was dust the furniture. So yeah, when they are younger, that's true. When we are younger, we just want to help out because we think that's what is to be done. Your lungi. Okay, I read that. Casey, I saw her on your vlog trying to help you cook. I haven't watched Casey's vlog yet. I'll do that after the live. Animals. What did the football coach say to the broken vending machine? Give me my quarterback. I got that. That is actually really fun. Give me my quarterback. So before you create, you must have a moment of imagining, manifesting what you desire and want to create, so that after you create, you would feel fulfilled. But he did by seeing what he has created was good. So it is the same with the story of Abram, and when he his name was changed to Abraham. He was given the promise, and every night he would go and watch at the stars, and he was basically envisioning what the word has said. So the promise was there. Unfortunately for his wife, she didn't have the patience, as much patience as him. But I understand what you are saying, because when you have the vision, it is easier for you to bring it to life. Yes. So Lungi said, but YouTube is killing us. We can't rest chasing the watch hours. Lungi, I gave myself a promise that I am going to relieve myself from YouTube altogether, because I'm looking at this as work, right? So if I am to honor the Sabbath, I'm off YouTube on Sundays. And if I'm coming to YouTube, I don't know, it's maybe at that particular time I just feel like coming there, but I don't want it to become a chore, because I actually enjoy being in lives. I actually enjoy interacting with people, and I miss people when I don't see them. But I gave myself that day so that I'm refreshed on a Monday, and I don't want to get burnout before I reach my goal, because I'm so close to my goal. And that's what usually happens when you're so close. So many things happen and they disrupt your goal, and you have to start again. So yeah, I had to give myself a break from that. I'm trying. I did so badly the previous 2 Sundays, but this last Sunday I did well, half the day. Hi Francis, how are you doing? Thank you so much for the like. Why did the golfer bring 2 pairs of pants in case he got a hole in one? Nice. Alice, it was good of you to acknowledge it. Yeah. I think it's beautiful when we can see things from other people's perspectives. Yeah, that is it. What do you call a set cup of coffee? Depresso. Animals, really, really. Yes, Dini, we confuse kids by always saying no. That's true. That is true. With me, I just wanted to help, but also they wanted to protect me. Lungi. Yes, D. Casey. Let's let kids live a soft life, but know and respect rules. We teach them the difference between right and wrong. So glad for you, Alice. I think so, Casey. That is beautiful. We need to teach them a soft life, but know and respect the rules. What did the horse say after it tripped? Help! I've fallen and I can't giddy up, really. Really, animals? Because they want to explore. Yeah, children are so curious and they are sponges. So anything that you're doing, they think that's what they're supposed to do. Anything you're saying, they think that's what they're supposed to say. So if they want to do it, I think it's good to let them. Alice, love there from Dineo. Animals is here. Yes, he is, Mutle, giving us some comedic relief. Good morning, Lucy. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. Okay. Mutle, greetings there from Animals. I like what you just highlighted, Lungi. Yes, living a soft life, giving them a soft life, but also letting them know the rules. Okay, Dineo, thank you so much for contributing to the conversation. Lucy, love there from Dineo, and from Zena. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Okay, animals, let me get on with the topic. Okay, so here is one way you can rest. So take in your surroundings. Like we said, we are always on the go, we're always busy, but this is something that I usually do when I am on a break or on vacation, but I don't practice it much when I'm at home. But here is a suggestion to just take in your surroundings. Spend 5 minutes sitting on a chair or on the bench. Notice the suns on your skin. Notice the colors around you. Notice the sounds. Notice how the bench feels. So notice the birds or the crickets or the frogs. Notice the colors of the trees or the flowers that are around you. Even if you are surrounded by concrete, what are the colors that are there around you? The sky, if it's blue, if it's gray, if it's gloomy. Because you are present in that moment, you have shut your mind off from thinking about everything else that you have been worried about. So when you take in your surroundings, it helps with that. Another thing is to focus on yourself, and this is what we were talking about. So no one has the same motivations as you, and in the reverse, no one rests the way that you do. So here are some ideas. Or why are you sharing things when I'm in the background? Oh, I'm sorry, Dino. I was catching up with the comments, but I still had things that I was supposed to do. I'm sorry, Didi, but I will try and write it down. I'll try and write it down. Or put captions. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, Didi. I'm sorry. Yes, Lucy, we need time to be intentional about shutting our mind off of everything else. And our rest may look like, and it's different for everyone, but it can look like cooking, like I mentioned, watching the sunrise or the sunset, drawing, journaling, sitting on a bench. So our rest comes in different forms. So whatever that is to some people, cleaning is rest for them because they're focused on taking the dirt off the wall, but their mind is at rest and it is calm. So we also need to rethink the narrative. So most people tend to attach their success to their worth, value, and identity. So we need to reframe that to know that just because you didn't finish one task of the day, that doesn't mean you're a failure. Your value is still there, whether you finish 10 tasks, 5 tasks, 3 tasks, or 1 task. That's why in one of my videos, I think the Get Ready With Me, I said that when I set goals for the year, I don't just say I've done it or I haven't done it. I put a percentage because maybe I did the research, that's 10%. Or maybe I lost 5 kgs where I wanted to lose 10 kgs, that's 50%. So that doesn't make me a failure. It just means that I wasn't able to do that. And once you give yourself that mindset of, even though I don't finish things, it's okay, you give yourself permission. You allow yourself to rest and recover and rejuvenate for the next days. Okay, I'm coming to that, really. That's an interesting one. Okay, so let me come to that now, because I am going to now talk about the resistance of rest. Why don't we like resting? So, talking of animals, do you think God created dinosaurs? I never saw dinosaurs in the Bible. There are a lot of things that are in the Bible that may sound like myth now, like giants, but because they're there, I can say that God created giants. And, there are some animals that are mentioned, okay, animals that walk. And so I don't know. I can neither deny or confirm that, but I haven't seen evidence of it, Willie. So I don't know. I've recently tried to intentionally make time to just stand in the sun for about 10 minutes and just breathe. My husband actually advised me to do this, yo. It's needed. It is needed because honestly, like I said, we are surrounded by so much noise. And unless you are intentional about it, like for me, I may be sitting here and then I see that maybe the foot of the chair has dust. I'm supposed to be sitting and resting, but when I see that I'm up, I'm already dusting it. So there's always busyness to be had, but when you're intentional about it, you give yourself time to rest. So that's beautiful. I'm happy for you, Lucy. Well, I love that, Dre. That's beautiful, Lucy. Thank you for the love all round. So one reason, and we have discussed this before, why we wouldn't let ourselves rest is because we are driven to achieve. And because we know that achievement comes from hard work, we don't prioritize rest. And sometimes we think that rest is being lazy. So again, we are unlearning that mindset of lazy and rest, removing them from the same criteria, and knowing that rest is actually good for our body. Okay. And then another reason is that we may have perfectionist or controlling behaviors. That is a triggering one for me. Because I used to call myself a perfectionist, and I have removed that label from myself, and now I always say progression over perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. As long as my work is better today than it was yesterday, that means I've made progress, and that is satisfying enough to me. As long as my mindset is better today than it was yesterday, I'm happy about that. But chasing perfection, it won't work. So yes, I am working on that, and I'm continuously working on that, because it's a battle I fight every single time I'm working on something. I'm definitely unlearning that rest means laziness. Yes, we need to. We really need to. Sometimes we are uncomfortable with rest. Resting may be uncomfortable because you may experience boredom when you're resting. You feel bored because you are resting. So instead of just lying down on the couch, being in your mind, maybe you're going to pick up your phone and check something. That's not rest. You just have to give, like Lucy said, just 10 minutes, right? Just 10 minutes. It's a lot when it comes to rejuvenating yourself. But when it comes to scrolling on your phone, it's not. You can scroll on your phone for 4 hours, but you have to be intentional about giving yourself time to rest. And the other reason, is that maybe we are afraid to rest. True perfection does not exist. No, it does not. Hi, Donald. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining the live. So we might be afraid to rest. Mental or emotional rest requires that you stop doing whatever you're doing. And you may fear resting because it will set you back. Am I talking to any YouTubers here? YouTubers, hello. Are you afraid to take rest because you're afraid that your hard work is going to set you back? The rest is going to set your hard work back. Are you afraid? This is for you. This is for you, guys. We need, we really need to prioritize rest. It will help us to be more productive, and a week doesn't hurt. A month might, but remember, we said we can plan ahead. We can do batch shooting and allow ourselves to rest for 2, 3, 4 weeks. So yeah, please, guys, prioritize rest. I recall when we grew up, taking a nap was viewed as laziness. Yes, Lucy, we spoke about this. Till today, no matter how tired I am, I struggle with just allowing my body to get that power nap. Yes. In my grandmother's house, you could not do that. You could not do that. She would come and wake you up. Because as a girl, why are you sleeping before the sun goes down? Donald, greetings there from Lisa. But do you believe hard work makes you a successful person? I do. I do. We are meant to work and labor. And we are meant to actually see the fruits of our labor. So I do believe in hard work. I do believe in perseverance. I just also believe in balance. So I believe in overall wellness. And I'm always, if you watch my content, I'm always preaching multiple streams of income. How are you going to get that if you are not working hard? So I do believe in hard work, and I also believe in rest. I'm doing great. Thank you, like Dan. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So you had OCD. Yes. Yes, yes. And it was partly because of my mom, because if she comes home and she sees something, she will ask, who was on duty? Who was supposed to be dusting today? So yeah, when I see things, I have to sort them out. I love that. Yes, Casey. I thought this might be speaking to you. We all deserve rest. Okay. Another thing is that when our mind is racing, it doesn't allow us to rest. So we can worry about getting all the work done. What others think about our resting, like Lucy said, the laziness, that label. What you're going to have for dinner, next week's bills. And remember when we were speaking about worry and stress, we said that there is enough trouble for today. So don't worry about tomorrow and let tomorrow worry about itself. So focus on what you can do today. Focus on the tasks that you can do today. Next week's bills are going to be paid next week, or they're not going to be paid next week. And if you put in the work today, you don't have to worry about next week. So don't worry about tomorrow. Let tomorrow worry about itself. Otherwise, your brain is always going to be ruminating and you're not going to get enough rest. And also, we might not understand what healthy rest looks like. So, like I mentioned before, when you are laying on your bed, you think you're resting. But the moment you pick up your phone, you're not resting anymore because you are being stimulated by what you are watching. You have to move your eyes. You are tiring your eyes. There's a light in your eyes. And you're stimulated by what you're reading on the news. You're stimulated by what other people are doing on social media. They evoke certain emotions in you. So that is not a healthy rest. Healthy rest is just switching off everything and taking time for yourself. Lucy said, my perspective of hard work changed when I realized that even before the fall, Adam was to work hard in taking care of the garden. There's beauty in tilling the ground, but also knowing when to rest. Yes, Lucy. And I think before you came in, we also shared the word. It was Mark 6 verse 30 to 31, when the disciples came back after they had done the work that Jesus sent them to do, that was healing the sick, casting out demons, and teaching. And they came back and they had not had any time to rest. So after the work, he said to them, come with me. Let us look for a quiet place so you can rest. So balance is so important. The work has to be done, and after the work is done, you have to rest. I do believe in hard work, but I don't believe hard work makes you a successful person. I see. That was your angle of the question. I didn't understand the question. Yeah, not everybody who works hard can be successful. That is true. But the cycle is, when you do work hard and work smart, you can be successful. And the last 2 points, yes. Sometimes we confuse rest with sleep. So sleep, it is a form of rest, but we also need to rest when we are awake. Because sometimes when you don't remove the worries from your head, you might even dream about the project that's worrying you when you're awake. So it goes hand in hand. True, God's journey, working smart makes one successful. Yes, that is true. Self-reflect on your resistance. Okay, so there are some questions that I would like to ask myself and ask you. The importance of getting curious about why you don't rest. And we've spoken about it. One of the reasons is because of what was instilled in us when we were younger. We were never taught to rest. But here are other things. If I weren't so busy, would I feel like a failure? That's the first question. Would I fear losing approval of others? Would I fear feeling hopelessly stuck? So, would I feel like a failure? What people instilled in us? Would I fear losing approval of others? Would others think that I'm lazy? And do I fear feeling hopelessly stuck? I'm working towards something. I haven't gotten the results yet, so I'm feeling stuck in limbo. So those are my questions to you and I. And that is the end of the topic. So guys, let us prioritize rest. Let us be intentional about it. If you feel like you can't find time on your day off from work, try and take out just 10 minutes, 5 minutes, even 3 minutes to yourself. No phone, no music, no podcast, no YouTube, and just take in your surroundings. It might be a cloudy sky, which is something that I would love to have right now. Just look at the clouds. When I was younger with my sister, we used to guess the shape of the clouds. So we would lie down on the grass. Wow. We actually had, we created our own rest in our childhood. But we would lay down on the grass, look up, and see the shapes of the clouds. And she would say, oh, I see a rabbit, I see a house, I see a horse. And we were just taking in creation. So guys, that is what I leave you with today. If you have anything else to contribute, I would love to hear your opinion. And if not, we can end the session reflect on resting and join the next person. So Zena, are you going to be going live after I am done? This live felt like a therapy session, from the sound of your voice to the wisdom reflective nuggets. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Converse Zena. Yes. Okay, guys. So as we log out of here, Zena said she prepared some samosas for us. Samosa and juice, even though it's cold, but I would appreciate some juice. So from our house, we are going to Zena's house. Yes, Zena, we are coming for the food. I didn't have food here because we are intermittent fasting. Most of us are intermittent fasting. So we don't do food first thing in the morning. We wait for the next person. So Zena has the samosas ready. All right, guys, please send in your goodbyes so I don't feel bad for leaving you here. This was such a blessing at the top of the morning. Thank you, Tineo. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It really makes me feel like I'm doing something right. I love samosas, Zena. Zena, you see, everyone is coming for the samosas. What I mean is that hard work makes you a good person. Then being a good person makes you a successful person. I hope you can see it from this perspective. It's a broader topic though. Okay. I will look into that, and maybe I'll do a little bit of research into it, and then we can discuss it in one of the upcoming lives. Bye, Lucy. Bye, Zena. Lucy summed it up nicely for us. Yes, thank you, Lucy. Bye, Lungi. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Lungi. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate the feedback. It means a lot to me. So this also takes back to never stop using your imagination while resting. Yes, Tineo. That's exactly what me and my sister would do. That's exactly what we would do. We would look at the clouds and see, oh, what does that look like? What does that look like? So yeah, it does take us back there. Full circle, full circle. Yes. Guys, there is no giveaway. No giveaway today. Maybe tomorrow. So let's go to Zena's house, guys. Okay, there are 7 people still. 8. Guys, when it gets, I was going to say when it gets to 5, I'm leaving, and then it went up to 8. Goodbye, Mutle. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. All right, guys, what do? I want to love and leave you. Nothing. Nothing, Lungi, not today. Not today. But maybe tomorrow. By the way, I am going live tomorrow, but I will announce it in the Instagram for the aerobics. So we'll do it in the evening because I think the mornings, people are busy in the morning, and also it's hot by the time people are finished with what they're doing. So maybe like your 7 or your 6:30, I'll be doing an aerobics class. Very short, probably like 15 minutes, but we'll make it fun. Yay, yes, Lungi, we are doing it tomorrow. I can't wait either. I just have to prepare for it tonight so I can make a playlist that will not be copywritten. So I'll probably use Lungi, that is not what we agreed on. That is not what we agreed on, Lungi. That's not what we agreed on. Bye, Casey. Thank you so much for joining the live. All right, guys. So I will see you in Zena's live, and then I will announce the live tomorrow, definitely, just before we start. But probably, I think I'll do 6:30 because that will be my 7:30 here. Yeah, the sun would have gone down. I'm going to be watching and supporting my sister Fred with Kota and Amagwinya. Guys, I'm leaving. Bye. Allah.